Well, the names of my books that addresses what we're talking about, what you're talking about. It's the United Independent Compensatory Code System concept. Now, that's described in the book, the definitions for all of those words, the United Independent Compensatory Code System concept, which is supposed to be a way of an individual person addressing the problems of the victims of racism, because the subtitle of the book is a textbook workbook for thought, speech, and/or action for victims of racism. And racism is described as white supremacy. And there is an additional book to the basic book, and that is a compensatory counter-racist codified word guide that even talks about crimes and what is crime and what is a criminal, etc., as a way of people thinking about it as an individual and coming to their own conclusions as to what constitutes a crime and what should constitute a crime, etc., within the framework of the system of racism. So you start with the word crime and criminal. Now, I have on page 81 of the word guide of the Compensatory Counter-Racist Codified Word Guide, showing people how to use words or how to ask questions about words that have to do with race, racism, or counter-racism. And I have here on page 81, use the word crime or criminal with caution. When you start talking about crime, you want to be very cautious about talking about using the word, rather, crime and/or criminal. When others use those words, ask for a detailed explanation that you can easily understand. Some questions would be, what exactly is a crime? If you're going to talk about crime, first of all, you want to know what exactly is a crime, what exactly is a criminal. Is a crime a law that has been violated? Is a criminal a person or a creature that has violated a law? Does not every creature in the known universe violate some law? You can ask that question. If you jaywalk, are you a criminal? Well, according to the word crime, yes. So you might say that if a person who crosses the street, if they have ever done it, any time in their entire existence, has that person crossed the person that crossed the street and didn't use the crosswalk, and there is a law somewhere that says you are not supposed to cross the street without using the crosswalk. You cross at the corner. If you had any time in your entire existence crossed the street without using a crosswalk, and now many years later you're on a witness stand or something like that, you might be asked by a prosecutor, have you ever committed a crime? Are you a criminal? Have you ever knowingly done anything that is criminal in violation of the laws? And a person might think back and say, well, yes, on many occasions I have crossed the street in my block, in my neighborhood, to visit my neighbor's house. I just did it the other day, maybe. I walked across the street to take them a cake that I baked. And so I'm now a criminal. I am a criminal if I'm going to tell the truth under oath.